Hello, my name is Amy Kendall. I'm a career consultant at the University Career Center. In this video, we're going to be discussing evaluating job offers and salary negotiation. Topics that we'll be covering today are evaluating job offers. So we're going to talk about research and knowing your worth. We're going to discuss benefits, talk a little bit about resistance points, discussion making, and what if. Then we'll go into negotiation where we'll talk about what can be negotiated. We'll go over the process of negotiation. We'll talk about negotiating salary, and then we'll go into professional etiquette and impressions. And then we'll talk a little bit about some email examples of accepting and declining job offers and negotiating salary. So evaluating job offers. So the first thing we're going to want to start is doing that research and knowing your worth. This is going to be the first thing to do when preparing to negotiate salary to determine what you have to offer a potential employer. Doing this will help you speak about your experiences and skills and help you evaluate and articulate what you have to offer an employer in terms of, how you're a good match for this position. You can list your natural abilities, strengths, skills, work and or internship experience, leadership experience, and accomplishments. And then you're going to want to do some research on the market value. So you're going to take emotion out of the mix, gather those hard facts and data about the job, average salaries, and benefits. People are paid to do the job you want based on background, credentials, education, training, skills, location. So you're going to use those criteria to determine your market value for this position. A couple of good resources are salary.com and Glassdoor, where you can search for that market value. All right, so for benefits, often when you negotiate salary, you also have a chance to negotiate your benefits package. Um, be sure to do your research on the benefits that are offered by the company you're applying to, so that you know what to expect and you know what benefits you want to receive. You'll work with your human resources to find out if you can customize your package, and you're going to want to consider total compensation and look at each component of that benefits package. All right, so deciding on a resistance point. You're going to want to think through this carefully. This is going to be the point at which you say no, thank you, and walk away. Thinking about this ahead of time will help you make sure you don't make a rash decision. You can consider, how long you've been looking for a job, what's the potential promotion or professional development at this position, what experience will you gain, have you received any offers for other companies at this point? So these are all things to consider when you decide on what that walking away point is. All right, the decision making. So you don't want to rush into accepting an offer. Always take your time to consider that offer, even if it's an offer that's above what your target was. That's wonderful. However, you still want to make sure you take some time to review it carefully. If there is something you want to negotiate, take that time to think about it and how you want to approach the discussion. And then in that whole evaluating job offers, you want to avoid what ifs. So try not to approach a job offer with what if I get a job offer somewhere else. So while it's not exactly recommended, there's nothing wrong with retracting your job offer acceptance after receiving a better offer. However, there is a right and wrong way to approach that situation. So holding off on telling your employer because you don't want to disappoint them takes away valuable time that they could have been going through onboarding person with other candidates. Therefore, you want to make sure that you are telling your employer as soon as you can. With that being said, it's important to make sure that you're applying for jobs that you really want, not just applying to a job just to try to get something and waiting for something better to come along. Secondly, it's important to learn how to negotiate so you can just get what you were wanting in the first place and not have to worry about what ifs. Right, so negotiation. So what can be negotiated? Until you have an offer, there's nothing to negotiate. But once you do, here are just a few factors that might be negotiated depending on the employer: salary, start date, location, schedule, flexible hours, childcare, professional development. So the process of negotiation. So during the process, the candidate will be in constant contact with the employer before giving an acceptance or declining the offer. A pro tip would be to remain flexible, but still have a walking away point. Practice and make sure that you use your value statements to back up your request. Gather hard data from reliable sources using, salary.com or Glassdoor. Those can be really helpful. And we'll go into like salary.com here towards the end as well. All right, so negotiating salary, this is going to be the top thing that a lot of people are negotiating and what employers are prepared for you to negotiate. Your budget should not determine your target salary. This negotiation is your worth, not your expenses. So it's important to remember that the average base salary is for someone that is fully qualified. So if you're fully qualified, you can set your target at that average. If you exceed the qualifications, then you can set your target a little bit higher, but no more than 20%. So here's an example of how to begin that negotiation. So I'm excited to receive an offer and would love to join your team with my qualifications and experience. I'm hoping there's some flexibility on the salary, or there's based on my research on this job in our area, my skills and qualifications. I was thinking around 55,000 per year. Do you have room for negotiation or to negotiate? All right, so professional etiquette and impressions. This is important. Throughout the negotiation process, the candidate will again always be in contact with employers. So candidates should continue to be mindful of their conduct and impression they are making with the employer before, during, and after that offer arrives. Inform employers you're pleased to receive the offer. Restate that you are very interested in the position, thank them for their consideration, maintain a professional attitude that expresses gratitude and a willingness to reach an agreement. Then you want to consider maybe negotiating in person, by phone, or by video chat. Talking about important details via email can sometimes lead to miscommunication. But no matter how you decide to negotiate, if an agreement arises, be sure to always get it in writing. Remember that employer can revoke an offer if something undesirable comes up, like a negative attitude at any time in the negotiation process. And then avoid getting personal. This is a conversation, not a confrontation. All right, so when not to negotiate, it is important that you do not negotiate during the application or interview process. It's just not the time to do it. If an employer does bring it up during an interview process, here's just like a couple ways that might be brought up and what you could say. So like, what are your salary expectations for this job? Response could be, I would like to see if I'm a good fit for this role and the company before we discuss salary. And then a lot of times in applications, say, they'll ask for like a salary history, and you can put um, enter zeros or NA in that section. All right, so here are a few email examples. So this is negotiating a job offer. So it says, thank you for your time and consideration throughout this hiring process. I enjoyed discussing the marketing assistant position with you. I'm very pleased to hear you have decided to offer me the role. The offered salary of 32,000 from your letter was a little lower than I expected from my research. So one, they are talking, thanking them for their consideration. Then they're talking about their research. The information found put the entry level for this position at an agency your size in New Jersey around 41,000 a year. Include market value statements and include applicant experience, skill set, education, etc., to follow up those statements and show your value. Then is there room for negotiation? And you're going to sign it sincerely, your name. Here's an accepting an offer letter. So after receiving the job offer last week, I'm ecstatic to accept the position. You're going to put, how much you're accepting it at, that the decided, agreed upon number. You can put your start date in there, and just again giving them communication phone number in there, just so they have it for easy access. Then you'll see the declining offer is just as gracious as the accepting one. Okay. I'm going to show you salary.com. On salary.com, this is just like the home page. You can look up, let's do accountant, and then we'll do Dallas, Texas, and you'll get my salary estimate. Then bring you to a page like this. You can see the average income below, above. You can also go in here and section it out by more specific things, degrees, years of experience, just to find out different factors. And then there's also benefits information in here as well based on the position. It's a great resource just to learn more about average salaries to help with your research. So a good takeaway from this is every negotiation is unique. So it's really important to make sure that you do your research, and I would recommend talking with a career consultant. This is how you can make an appointment with us. So you can log into Handshake, click on the right top where it says Career Center, click on appointments, and then schedule the appointment. There is like a job offer appointment type along with a plethora of other ones that we offer. But you'll just go ahead and go to Handshake and then schedule with your career consultant. That concludes this video. Again, if you ever have any questions, just feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.